Are you tired of skyrocketing rents and sky-high living costs? What if you could live in a vibrant community, enjoy great amenities, and still have plenty of cash left over at the end of the month? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, get ready to discover the 10 cheapest towns to live in the United States in 2025. From hidden gems to affordable big cities, these towns offer unbeatable savings without sacrificing quality of life. Want to know where you can live comfortably on a budget? Let's dive in and explore your future affordable paradise. Number 10. Rockford, Illinois. If you think Illinois is all about Chicago's sky-high prices, think again. Welcome to Rockford, Illinois, a city that delivers big savings, small-town charm, and just enough city life to keep things interesting. With a cost of living that's 22% lower than the national average, Rockford is one of the cheapest places to live in the entire Midwest. Let's start with housing, because this is where Rockford really shines. The median home price is just $140,000, which is a whopping 67% lower than the national median of $420,000. If you're renting, you'll be just as happy. A one-bedroom apartment averages about $750 per month, while a two-bedroom costs around $1,000. That's almost half the price of rent in Chicago, which sits at $2,200 plus for a one-bedroom. And it's not just housing that's cheap. Everything in Rockford costs less. Groceries are about 15% cheaper than the national average, meaning you can grab a gallon of milk for $2.90, a dozen eggs for $2.50, and a loaf of bread for just $2.30. Even gas is affordable, averaging around $3.10 per gallon, which is way below Illinois' major metro areas. Plus, the city's public transportation is super budget-friendly, with bus fares costing just $1.50 per ride or $45 for a monthly pass. Now, let's talk jobs. Rockford is home to major industries like aerospace, healthcare, and manufacturing, meaning steady employment opportunities. Companies like Collins Aerospace, OSF Healthcare, and Woodward Inc. provide thousands of jobs, and the unemployment rate sits at a manageable 4.2%. The average salary in Rockford is around $52,000, which might not sound like a fortune, but when combined with the low cost of living, it actually goes further than earning $80,000 in a high-cost city. But wait, Rockford isn't just affordable, it's also a great place to live. Known as the Forest City, it's filled with parks, rivers, and scenic beauty. If you're into music, the city has a surprisingly vibrant scene with live concerts, art festivals, and local breweries. With ultra-affordable housing, cheap everyday expenses, and a thriving job market, Rockford proves that you don't need to break the bank to enjoy a high quality of life. Number 9. Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville, Texas, a town where affordability meets warm weather and rich culture. If you're someone who loves sunshine, low living costs, and amazing tacos, this place is calling your name. Brownsville is one of the cheapest cities in Texas, with a cost of living that's 24% lower than the national average. Yeah, you heard that right, 24%. The median home price here is just $169,000. That's nearly $250,000 cheaper than the national median. And if you're renting, you can easily find a one-bedroom apartment for as low as $750 per month, while a decent two-bedroom will run you around $950. A steal compared to places like Austin or Dallas, where rents have skyrocketed over $2,000. Food, utilities, and transportation? Also ridiculously cheap. A gallon of milk costs around $2.80, a loaf of bread is just $2.50, and gas prices hover around $2.90 per gallon, way lower than the national average. Plus, Texas has zero state income tax, so your paycheck goes even further. But Brownsville isn't just about affordability. It's about quality of life too. Located right on the border of Mexico, it offers a vibrant cultural mix, with festivals, delicious Tex-Mex food, and beautiful beaches just 30 minutes away in South Padre Island. You can literally take a weekend trip to the beach without breaking the bank. Job opportunities. Brownsville is growing, especially in aerospace, healthcare, and manufacturing. With companies like SpaceX launching rockets nearby, this area is becoming a rising star in Texas. If you want a town with a low cost of living, warm weather year-round, and a mix of American and Mexican culture, Brownsville should be at the top of your list. Number 8. Decatur, Illinois. Decatur, Illinois, a town that proves you don't need a massive salary to live a comfortable life. If you're tired of paying $300 for groceries and spending half your paycheck on rent, you're gonna love Decatur. First off, let's talk housing. The median home price in Decatur is just $109,000. Yep, you heard that right. Less than $110,000 for a house. That's about 75% cheaper than the national average. And if you're renting, a 2-bedroom apartment will cost you around $800 per month, while a 1-bedroom can be found for as low as $650. Compare that to Chicago, where the average rent is over $2,400, and it's a no-brainer. But it's not just about cheap housing. Decatur is affordable across the board. The cost of groceries is 15% below the national average, meaning a dozen eggs will cost you around $2.70, and a full grocery run for the week might set you back just $80. Gas prices hover around $3.10 per gallon, and utilities are nearly 20% cheaper than most U.S. cities. And here's the best part. Decatur is not some boring, run-down town. It's got a thriving local scene with parks, lakes, and festivals all year long. Lake Decatur is perfect for fishing, boating, and weekend picnics. Plus, if you're into history, you'll love visiting places like the Hieronymus Mueller Museum, which showcases Decatur's rich industrial past. The job market here is stable, with opportunities in manufacturing, agriculture, and healthcare. The city is home to Archer Daniels Midland, ADM, one of the world's largest agricultural processing companies, meaning there's always work for skilled laborers. So, if you're looking for one of the cheapest places to buy a home, super low rent, and a relaxed small-town vibe, Decatur is a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Number 7. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne, Indiana, a place that gives you big city amenities at small-town prices. Fort Wayne isn't just affordable, it's actually one of the best cities in the U.S. for quality of life. The median home price in Fort Wayne is just $200,000, which is more than $220,000 below the national average. And if you're looking to rent, you can find a 2-bedroom apartment for just $1,050 per month, while a 1-bedroom can go as low as $850. That's insanely cheap compared to cities like Indianapolis, where rents are over $1,500 a month. The overall cost of living in Fort Wayne is 14% below the national average. Groceries here are cheap. A gallon of milk is $3.10, a loaf of bread is around $2.40, and eating out won't break the bank. You can grab a solid meal at a local restaurant for under $12, and even a nice dinner for 2 will cost you around $40 to $50. One thing that makes Fort Wayne so livable is its fantastic job market. The city has a super low unemployment rate of just 3.2%, and it's home to growing industries like healthcare, defense, and manufacturing. Companies like General Motors, Parkview Health, and Sweetwater Sound provide tons of jobs, meaning there's always opportunity. And guess what? Fort Wayne isn't just affordable, it's actually fun. The city has an amazing downtown area with restaurants, breweries, and festivals. It's home to over 90 parks, including the famous Promenade Park, where you can enjoy riverfront views, live music, and kayaking. If you love sports, you can catch a Fort Wayne Tin Caps baseball game for just $10 a ticket. Way cheaper than an MLB game. Transportation is also super budget-friendly. You can fill up your gas tank for about $3.20 per gallon. And if you don't drive, public transit fares are just $1.25 per ride. So if you're looking for a city with a strong job market, tons of fun things to do, and one of the lowest costs of living in the Midwest, Fort Wayne should definitely be on your list. Number 6. Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri, a city that gives you the best of both worlds. Big city amenities at small-town prices. If you're looking for cheap housing, affordable groceries, and a great quality of life, Springfield might just be the perfect place to call home. First, let's talk about the cost of living. Springfield is 17% cheaper than the U.S. average, making it one of the most affordable mid-sized cities in America. And the biggest win? Housing costs are 30% lower than the national average. That means while the typical American home costs around $420,000, you can snag a nice home in Springfield for just $190,000. And if you prefer renting, a one-bedroom apartment averages $850 per month, while a two-bedroom will run you around $1,100, a fraction of what you'd pay in larger cities like St. Louis or Kansas City. But it's not just housing that's affordable. Springfield is cheap across the board. A gallon of milk costs around $3, a dozen eggs are about $2.50, and even gas stays below $3.20 per gallon. Eating out is also a steal. You can grab a full meal at a local diner for just $10 to $12. Now, let's talk about what makes Springfield special. This city is home to Missouri State University, which brings a fun, youthful energy to the area. Plus, if you love the outdoors, Springfield has over 90 parks and trails, including fantastic caverns, the only ride-through cave system in North America. The job market is strong too, with big employers in healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. The unemployment rate hovers around 3.5%, meaning there are plenty of job opportunities. Springfield is proof that you don't need to spend a fortune to live well, have fun, and enjoy life. If you want a low cost of living, great job market, and tons of outdoor activities, Springfield should definitely be on your radar. Number 5. Conway, Arkansas. Conway, Arkansas, a small city with a big personality and even bigger savings. Nicknamed the City of Colleges, Conway is one of the fastest growing cities in Arkansas. But don't worry, it's still ridiculously affordable. First, let's look at housing. The median home price in Conway is just $180,000, a whopping 58% lower than the national median of $420,000. If you're renting, you'll be even happier. A one-bedroom apartment costs around $750 per month, and a two-bedroom averages about $950. Compare that to places like Little Rock, where rents can go up to $1,400, and you can see why people love Conway. And here's the best part. No state income tax on groceries. That's right. While other states are taxing your food, Arkansas lets you keep more money in your pocket. Speaking of food, let's talk prices. A dozen eggs costs about $2.40, a gallon of milk is $2.90, and gas prices stay around $3.10 per gallon. What about jobs? Conway has a super low unemployment rate of 3.1%, and thanks to its three major colleges, University of Central Arkansas, Hendrix College, and Central Baptist College, education is a big industry here. Other job sectors include healthcare, technology, and manufacturing, making it a great place to find steady work. But life isn't just about cheap living, it's about having fun too. Conway is surrounded by beautiful nature, including Cadron Settlement Park, where you can go hiking, fishing, and kayaking. Plus, the city has a thriving arts scene, great local restaurants, and fun events like Toad Suck Days, a quirky local festival that celebrates, you guessed it, toads. If you want a super affordable place with great job opportunities, fun festivals, and easy access to nature, Conway, Arkansas is calling your name. Number 4. Memphis, Tennessee. All right, music lovers and BBQ fanatics. Let's talk about Memphis, Tennessee. This city isn't just famous for its rich music history and legendary BBQ joints. It's also one of the cheapest major cities in America. First up, let's look at housing. The median home price in Memphis is only $160,000. That's about 62% cheaper than the national median of $420,000. And renting? A one-bedroom apartment averages around $850, while a two-bedroom costs about $1,100. Incredible for a city of this size. But here's where Memphis really saves you money. There's no state income tax. That means you keep more of your paycheck compared to states like California or New York, where taxes eat up a huge chunk of your earnings. Cost of living here is 19% lower than the national average. Grocery prices are 15% cheaper, meaning you can buy a dozen eggs for $2.50, a gallon of milk for $3, and a full meal at a local BBQ joint for just $12. And gas? It's usually around $3 per gallon, making it one of the cheapest big cities to drive in. And let's be real, Memphis is one of the most exciting cities on this list. You've got Beale Street, the heart of the blues scene, where you can catch live music every night for little to no cover charge. And of course, there's Graceland, home of Elvis Presley, which attracts over 600,000 visitors a year. Job-wise, Memphis is a major hub for logistics, healthcare, and manufacturing. With companies like FedEx, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and AutoZone headquartered here, there are plenty of solid career opportunities. The unemployment rate is around 4.2%, meaning jobs are available if you're looking. One more thing, Memphis is home to some of the best BBQ on the planet. Whether it's ribs from Central BBQ or pulled pork from Gus's, you're always just a few dollars away from a mouth-watering meal. So if you're looking for a big city with a low cost of living, great food, amazing music, and no state income tax, Memphis is the place to be. Number 3. Wichita, Kansas. If you're looking for big city perks without the big city price tag, Wichita, Kansas is your answer. As the largest city in Kansas, Wichita gives you the vibrancy of an urban hub while still being incredibly affordable. With a cost of living that's 21% lower than the national average, it's one of the cheapest places to live in the entire country. Let's start with housing. The median home price in Wichita is just $175,000. That's nearly 60% lower than the US average of $420,000. Even renting is a steal. A one-bedroom apartment costs about $850 per month, while a two-bedroom averages around $1,100. Compare that to places like Denver or Dallas, where you'd easily pay twice as much, and it's easy to see why Wichita is a budget-friendly dream. But the savings don't stop at housing. Everyday expenses are shockingly low too. A gallon of milk costs around $3, a dozen eggs go for $2.50, and you can fill up your gas tank for about $3 per gallon. Even eating out is a bargain. You can grab a full meal at a local restaurant for just $10 to $12. And let's not forget the job market. Wichita is known as the air capital of the world, thanks to its strong aviation industry. Companies like Spirit Aerosystems, Textron Aviation, and Cessna provide thousands of jobs. The unemployment rate sits at just 3.5%, meaning it's a great place to find work. Beyond affordability, Wichita is actually a really fun place to live. The city is packed with museums, breweries, and parks. The Sedgwick County Zoo, home to over 3,000 animals, is a local favorite. And if you love arts and culture, check out the Wichita Art Museum or the historic Old Town District, which is full of restaurants and live music venues. For anyone looking for a low cost of living, a strong job market, and tons of things to do, Wichita is the perfect mix of affordability and excitement. Number 2. Abilene, Texas. Texas is already known for no state income tax and affordable living, but Abilene takes it to another level. With a population of just over 125,000, this small city in West Texas offers super cheap housing, low taxes, and a booming economy, all wrapped up in a friendly, welcoming atmosphere. First, let's talk real estate. Abilene's median home price is just $165,000. That's over 60% lower than the national average. Renters will love it here too, with a one-bedroom apartment going for around $750 and a two-bedroom averaging $950. Compare that to Austin, where rents easily top $1,800, and you'll see why Abilene is a steal. But Abilene's affordability isn't just about housing. Groceries, healthcare, and transportation are all about 20% cheaper than the US average. A dozen eggs cost $2.30, a gallon of milk is around $3, and gas prices typically stay under $3.10 per gallon. Even your utility bills are lower here, with an average electricity bill of about $130 per month, compared to the 200-plus bills common in other Texas cities. Abilene's job market is thriving, with major employers in education, healthcare, and the military. Dyess Air Force Base is a huge economic driver, along with Hendrick Health System and Abilene Christian University. The city's unemployment rate is just 3.2%, meaning jobs are plentiful. Beyond the low cost of living, Abilene has plenty of charm and things to do. The city is packed with historic sites like Frontier, Texas, a fun, interactive museum about the Old West. The Grace Museum is another must-visit, featuring art and history exhibits. And if you love the outdoors, Abilene State Park offers hiking, fishing, and camping. With Texas-sized savings, low crime rates, and a strong job market, Abilene is an underrated gem that's perfect for budget-conscious living. Number 1. Fort Smith, Arkansas. Fort Smith, Arkansas takes the crown as the most affordable town in the U.S. for 2025. If you're looking for a place where your money stretches further than anywhere else, Fort Smith is the ultimate budget-friendly paradise. The cost of living in Fort Smith is a jaw-dropping 25% lower than the national average. Housing? Ridiculously cheap. The median home price is just $150,000, 64% less than the national median of $420,000. If you're renting, you'll be thrilled. A one-bedroom apartment costs just $700 per month, while a two-bedroom averages about $900. But that's not all. Everything is cheaper in Fort Smith. Groceries are about 18% lower than the national average, meaning a dozen eggs cost around $2.20, a gallon of milk is $2.80, and a loaf of bread is just $2. Gas prices? Around $2.90 per gallon, making Fort Smith one of the cheapest cities to drive in. Even utilities are lower, with the average monthly electric bill at about $125. And guess what? Arkansas has no state income tax on groceries and some of the lowest property taxes in the country. That means you keep more of your hard-earned money compared to residents in higher tax states. But Fort Smith isn't just cheap. It's actually a really cool place to live. This historic city sits on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border and is packed with museums, parks, and festivals. The Fort Smith National Historic Site takes you back to the days of the Wild West, and the city's downtown is full of fun breweries and restaurants. Jobs are solid here too. The city has major employers in manufacturing, healthcare, and transportation, with companies like Ream Manufacturing, OK Foods, and Baptist Health providing thousands of jobs. The unemployment rate hovers around 3.4%, making it a great place to find work without breaking the bank. With dirt-cheap housing, no grocery tax, low utility costs, and a charming historic feel, Fort Smith, Arkansas is hands down the most affordable place to live in the U.S.